That's awful. No. Hi. No.
Hey, internets! It's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain. Everybody's laughing and giggling. It must be Thursday night again. Hey, internets! It's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is the Dawnbringers. We are back after a 2-week hiatus. Tonight is episode 30 of our 5th season of Rime of the Frostmaiden. Tonight's episode is called Death Becomes Her. And we'll see if the characters can actually make that title come true tonight in one way or another. But yes, we are just excited to be back again after a break. It's always nice to have a break, but it's even nicer, I think, when we can sit around this virtual table, roll some dice, and kill some monsters, and role play and stuff. So I'm looking forward to that tonight. Couple of quick announcements, and then we are going to get into the recap and the game. So as always, I would like to draw your attention down below Goblin Katie in the lower left-hand corner, where you can see a couple of logos. Those are, of course, our partner logos. First up, we have Talon and Claw, who you can check out their amazing dice accessories, dice vaults, like Katie has right there, showing off just a micro fraction of the actual Talon and Claw merchandise that she has. Mine are out of reach right now, but did you see the in response to the Arby's dice that he made a
Yes!
We Have the Meats dice vault, and then Arby's responded to the tweet and said to DM them. So I love seeing the way Arby's has always had a very nerd centric marketing, and so it's really cool to see them responding with something like that. And
we're not going to discuss their dice though.
Okay.
Until they restock them.
Because they were immediately out of stock.
I am so unhappy.
They're in a fight currently.
There's a mailing list that you can sign up for to be notified when they're back in stock.
Well, at any rate, check out Talon and Claw, and while you're there picking up all your awesome dice accessories, use code MTDClaw at checkout to get 10% off your order. Our other partner that I want to draw your attention to is, of course, Run Right Play. Our friend Keel over at Run Right Play has built a wonderful community of collaboration. Has all kinds of great stuff going on their Patreon, including the epic zine that they put out every month, both digitally and physically, micro games, and just all kinds of really cool stuff. You can find all that cool stuff there at the Patreon link in the chat right now. So be sure to check that out. Drawing your attention to the exact opposite corner, in the upper right-hand corner up above V's head, you'll see the domain dice for the what we call them domain ice here, domain dice. And as I mentioned them, the Jarl DM himself has just raided us with 7 Viking warriors, which of course means I get to do this to the domain dice up above your head. There is another one, because raids, subscriptions, resubscriptions, all that good stuff, tipping $5, cheering 500 bits. I'm also keeping an eye on the new Ko-Fi. I actually set up Ko-Fi memberships, and you can also just do Ko-Fi one-offs as per usual. But if you become a member or tip over on Ko-Fi, that will also translate to domain dice for the players. I've just put that new Ko-Fi link in the chat, so be sure to check that out as well. The last thing that I want to, one other thing, we'll remind you at the end as well. But just in case you don't get enough of some of us tonight, tomorrow night you want to turn into Nerdarchy Live, where Ted will be DMing V and myself and a couple other friends over in our untraditionally arcane game over there on Nerdarchy Live, which is a lot of fun. So be sure to tune in for that. I just want to remind everybody before we start playing here, as always, you matter. You make a difference, whether you believe it or not. You might be struggling. You might have some reason, something that you're just not okay, and that's okay. I can tell you I've had a rough couple weeks, but I'm still here. I'm still pushing along because I have found ways to get help. I have friends that I can rely on, and I have professional help in the form of a counselor because I reached out when I realized I couldn't do things on my own and I needed somebody. If you find yourself struggling in a similar position and you don't know where to turn, it's as simple as typing !help. As Jeremy has just done in our chat, you'll see at the end of that paragraph a hyperlink for findahelpline.com, all one word. Go ahead, bookmark that website right now so you can keep it for yourself, or you can send it to a friend when you think they might need it. Findahelpline.com is a free service where you simply put in your location and a whole bunch of help services for various mental health and other issues you might be struggling with will show up. It's that simple. So please do reach out. Please do use that if you find yourself or if you know of somebody who's in need. All right, with that, I think it's time to play some D&D. The Dawnbringers here have been cutting quite the swath across Icewind Dale over the last several 10 days, dealing with increasingly larger problems, not the least of which was an ancient white dragon by the name of Arviatris, who is apparently not a problem anymore because of the Dawnbringers. They also found that there was a Chardelin dragon, a large dragon construct with the corrupting Chardelin crystals that was set to be loosed upon the region from a Duragar fortress in the mountains. But when they got there, they found their old friend Vi hiding out there. Vi the druid, who had become corrupted by the Chardelin crystals. While in battle with Vi, the fortress they were in took to the air. They made a brief truce with Vi to fight the Frostmaiden. That battle ended in Vi and the Frostmaiden disappearing off the side in their own pitched battle, during which they lost their NPC ally, Baron, who was an old friend from Oakhurst, who was dropped off the 1,000-foot high flying tower, not to be seen again. As they began to fly across the land towards the sea of moving ice, they found themselves looking down on an isolated island, the home of the Frostmaiden, on which Grimskala, the frozen, abandoned ice or frost giant fortress now belonging to the Frostmaiden. They eventually made their way through this fortress, in the basement of which, among the many things they saw, including an ice skating rink, and a very large elephant-sized walrus just sliding around on the ice, which they found their old friend Victor the Spectator frozen below the ice. They learned if they took the tests of the Frostmaiden, they could gain access to the vault and receive the Codicil of White, which would be key to finding the rest of the Evangeline, the missing crew, and free their friend Victor. They passed all of the tests. Not all of them passed, but most of them passed some, if not all, of the tests. At the end of which they received the Codicil of White, which contains the Rime of the Frostmaiden, a special poem that when Cantriel read it, it freed their friend Victor, who is no longer Victor the Spectator, but is now Victor the Beholder, though instead of eye stalks, his own 4 eye stalks turned into arms with fingers on the ends. And he has 10 gazers that that he fathered through dreams, courtesy of Drown and Cantriel. We won't get into the biomechanics of exactly how that worked, but suffice it to say, thank goodness Victor's on their side. And they, after a bit of a brief respite, they are preparing for what they know remains in this fortress. Vi, the Corrupted, and the Frostmaiden, who they believe to be upstairs within this palace. And that is where we are going to pick up. Dawnbringers, what would you like to do? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but had you rested?
I think we had just finished a short rest.
Yeah, I think that is correct.
And I had attuned to my shiny new Frost Giant axe.
Yeah, it shrunk down to
be
drown
nearly
size.
enormous for drown-sized wielding.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it's a perfectly normal magical battle axe with nothing weird about it.
Yep. +1. It's neat.
Yep, +1.
Get some extra hit points. It's fun stuff.
So, I believe the plan was to go upstairs, but that is up to you.
I think so.
So you're all heading up to the top of the palace?
You have any battle plans? Anything we need to discuss or worry about before we get in there?
You're muted.
I cast mage armor on myself. That explains why no one was responding to me.
Darling.
Yep, the muting will do it.
Yeah, I'm on brand if nothing else.
So we fight now, yes?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Rolo is scared.
That is wise.
understandable.
So, just to be clear, I think we've discussed this before, but she's gone. She's not Vi anymore, and we're not pulling punches.
We gave her every chance that we could.
She is your friend. If you wish her to live, I will let her live. But
That's not viable.
given my own discretion, I will eliminate her.
The first chance you get.
Just, as Drown said, you used to know her, so we wanted to give the two of you the say. And only
She is fighting Frostmaiden too, right?
He is the Frostmaiden.
he is the Frostmaiden now.
Oh. Rolo missed that. Okay, so we fight her. I
Yes,
fireball her?
as much as you can.
Usually a good start.
Got anything bigger?
I might. We're heading up right now, aren't we?
Yep.
Victor is floating along with you.
Cantriel is going to call up her draconic spirit.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's a lovely red dragon now hanging out with us.
You got all kinds of friends there, Cantriel.
I tend to make them. Question is, can I keep them?
The draconic spirit. How does that work again?
That is what I'm just gonna write in my
It's a
notes.
spell.
Use a spell. Yep. Concentration up to 1 hour. Manifest in an occupied space I can see within range. Range is 60 feet.
What is the spell called again?
Summon draconic spirit. It was from the.
Oh, it's not showing up.
It's from
Fine.
Tasha's.
Yeah.
Or no, sorry. It was the Draconic Options UA.
Hold on. I
All
have
the
to
other
see.
spirit spells are from Tasha's. Sorry.
That might be why it's not showing up.
Jeez, Dan.
Probably.
All right. Just double checking. You're traveling up some narrow staircases. So I wanted to check to see if that was going to be a problem. If you needed to wait, it's a spectral dragon.
No, it's corporeal, so I'll wait till I
Yeah, you might have to wait till you're actually
Okay.
clear of the
Push it
stairs.
through winding
Is it
staircases.
large?
It is, I believe, yeah.
But aren't we in a giant, like
Yeah,
a literal
it's large.
giant?
True.
Fort?
You know what? Let me just double check here. Yeah, you got
That's
15.
a real good point.
Yeah, you got 10 to 15 foot wide stairwells that you're walking up. So, yeah, you should be fine then. Cast that ahead of time.
Make with Dargan.
Thanks for the reminder. I'm looking at this map and I totally forgot. Oh yeah, these are 10-foot grids, not 5 foot, because this is a frost giant castle.
There is that.
I mean, you know, when they say, you know, you got to go up the stairs, those stairs are huge.
Yeah, you're taking big strides if you're on foot.
I imagine, you know, little old me having a bit of issue with some of them stairs.
Well, chat's already dropping a couple of subs and resubs and stuff in here. Make sure you're armed with domain dice as you head up.
Thank you, guys.
As you are all traveling slowly up these stairs, because the dwarves need a little bit of help clambering up. You all hear a voice, a familiar voice, that of Vi, but it's somehow different. It's icier, as Auriel's own voice seems to cut through as well. You hear Vi's voice reverberating all around you off the frozen walls of Grimskull, but you feel Auriel's voice penetrating your mind simultaneously. We've been watching you, you know. Watching your every action since you first stepped onto Solstice. We were with you when you were subjected to our tests. We watched as you struggled to justify your actions, particularly when it came to cruelty. We knew that you wouldn't let us down. We had no doubts that together you would pass our tests. Everything you have done has been because we allowed it. It was us who allowed you to find us in the Durgar Fortress. It was us who allowed you to escape when you fought in the skies overhead. It was us who allowed you to find Solstice and reach Grimskull so easily. And it was us who allowed you to claim the Codicil of White and the Rime of the Frostmaiden. How else would you have hope that you could free your friends trapped up there on Mount Reghead? Oh, we're afraid your friends will find escape almost impossible now that their new guardians have arrived. So, let us turn to matters at hand. Talmud. How we had hoped that you, like your cousin Thorgarn, would embrace the tenets of the Frostmaiden and become a champion for us. But no, you are too stubborn. You will make a fine sculpture within our palace.
You talk an awful lot for someone who has had their ass kicked at least twice by this same group of people. So if you want to stop with the little head games and just show yourself, we'll get this over with real fast.
Keep climbing. You're almost here.
We'll come to you then. That's fine. Why don't you just wait?
Cantriel. We remember the songs you used to sing at Garen's Holborian in Oakhurst. Or while we plunged the depths of that god's forsaken citadel below the earth. But most of all, we remember how you helped to kill Belak, our brother, and offer no hope of redemption. Soon, we will earn honor and rewards when we lay your frozen corpse before the almighty Ashardalon.
They're cute. Try harder.
Drown, you poor, misplaced, unnamed nomad. Stripped of your birthright, stripped of your family, stripped of your name. And for what? To wander aimlessly across the plains to the darkest corner of the worlds with this band of fools? Save yourself. Come to our side now. Join us, and we can give you that which you most desire. A name. A true name.
Actions have consequences, and you will reap yours soon.
Witty retorts from each of you. Rollo, you silly little erd. Runt, little one. We've watched you flit and float about in our realm. Oh yes, we see every little spark of light, burst of flame, and explosion of fire. There are many souls who've been torn asunder because of your actions. Once living beings, now ash, floating frozen across the tundra. And now you found yourself some new friends and led them right to us. Fly away, little kobold. Spare yourself the fate of the Dawnbringers. There are so many more adventurers left out there for you to kill.
Rollo is a Dawnbringer.
Then you will die like a Dawnbringer.
That will be good death.
And Thorgarn, our champion, touched by the Shardalon and blessed by the very will of Auriel the Frostmaiden. You alone have shown the most promise to bear our standard. Like our little friend Rollo here, you have been the sole survivor while those around you have perished. But you are so selfish, so cruel, that you won't even release the spirit of your former mentor. Forever he is chained to you, bound to follow you. How quickly you accepted our blessing, not even for a moment concerned that you were forsaking that ridiculous divine blacksmith Moradin. Only a true paladin of Auriel could be so cruel. I just might spare you.
Selfish and cruel. I have to argue with you there. If anything, foolish, sure. I don't always make the best judgments. But serve you over Moradin? Never. I'll rot as anything else before I do that. But you've given me words to think on. If it is truly my choice, I look over my shoulder. If it is truly my will that is binding him here, then you've given me purpose to figure out how to undo that so that he might rest. Never thought that it was my choice. I thought that it was his. But after we dispose of you, we'll have some things to do. And I'll take the time then.
I look forward to watching each and every one of you die before me. As these last words reverberate through your minds and off the walls, you clamber up the last few stairs to the upper level of the interior of Grimskull. You walk out onto a large, round, icy surface, 100 feet in diameter. At the far end, away from you, two large windows that are very obviously the eyes of the skull from the exterior of the fortress cast illumination through this area, and in between those sits a throne of ice. As you crest the top, you see Vi, the Corrupted. Now she stands nearly 10 feet tall, still bearing her human form. And blazing from her chest, you see the crystalline form of the Frostmaiden embedded. As she stands, she draws as if from the air a blade of blue flame, a scimitar, and holds it at her side. Well, it seems there's only one thing left to do, Dawnbringers. Let's roll for initiative.
Oh boy.
Alright, where is my Frostmaiden die?
Are you kidding me?
What did you do?
I'm trying to figure out how she could have rolled something that was hilarious.
There's things above my
Using
head.
a domain die.
You can use a domain die in your initiative.
Guys.
First roll.
All right.
This fight is a 1. It's a little
Alright,
better.
I will get those numbers from you in just a moment.
Hey, you're just getting the bad stuff out of the way now.
Right.
Yeah, yes. I'm saving all the good rolls for damage.
Alright, let's see. Yeah. Drown, what you got?
13.
Cantriel.
24.
Rolo.
12.
Thorgarn.
17.
Talmud.
Just so that we can fuck with you, Jake, a 17.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Oh no. Yeah,
Just
it took me a
call 17
second to
the
realize the
dwarves.
full implication of that.
Just call 17 the dwarves and they can figure it out.
Yep. Alright, let me see where Victor is going to go in this order. What's Victor's dex? Okay, that's a 15. Okay, here is the order. Cantriel, you are going first. Vi/Oriel is going second. Thormud is going third. Victor goes fourth. Drown, you are fifth. And sixth is Rolo. So Talmud and Thorgarn, between the two of you, you can decide on each turn who's going to go first. However you want to roll that is
I
fine.
think he's got the better dex. I got a 14.
Well, however you want to do it. I'm not basing it on the dex. You rolled the same, so you
Also
can
14. Yeah.
you can
Go ahead.
decide.
Okay, I'll take it first then.
So,
Cool.
Cantriel, you have the first go. You are. Let me just double check so I can get some accuracy here from the map. From where the stairs came up, 20, you are 80 feet away from the Frostmaiden / Vi.
Lovely. Semantics question.
Okay.
It was. I had Sempre Cavatina set and locked and loaded on one of them, but now the two of them have combined. Does it how does this work now? Does it count or has it been dropped?
This is a unique case because the two are essentially a new being. Let's do this. I'm gonna say there's a 50% chance you were able to hold it up. So I'm gonna roll a D100 as soon as I find my other die. All right. And I just need you to roll within 25 on either side of this.
36.
I rolled a 48, so your your oath stays up.
Okay, cool.
There you go.
All right. So at 60 feet, Cantriel she's actually going to be extremely taciturn and not say much. She's going to fire 2 arrows at Vi with Sempre. Or what are we calling this one? Oral, Vioral. She's gone viral.
Viral. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah. There we go.
All right.
Love it.
Viral.
Yeah, that's a thing now. Okay, so then that is going to be so the first shot will be actually both shots, right? Yep.
Yep.
Okay, first shot's going. That is going to be a 22 to hit.
22 is going to hit.
Okay, so then that is MathNet on 10, 20 total.
20 total damage.
Yep.
All right.
And then second shot's gonna go. It's cocked. Hi.
Critical giggle.
Critical giggle.
Pretty number. I like it a lot.
All right. So that's max damage. Then roll up the damage dice again.
Okay.
So is that a criggle? Is that how that works?
It's a criggle. It's a criggle? Yeah, I think it's a criggle. Oh God. Okay, so that is going to be D8 plus. So 8 plus 12 is 26 plus 3, right? Or no, plus 6. So 32. We know this is 32. So we did that before. So.
Yep.
And then roll what I got, right?
Yep. And then you just roll the damage dice and add those to the 36.
Okay, very cool. That is going to be phenomena. 10, 11 more.
11 more, so 47. So 67 total on the first attack with Sempre Cavatina.
Beautiful. And then she's just going to, like, as her hand drops from the second arrow, she's just going to motion her arm, and that red dragon is going to fly towards Viral, and she's going to release some lovely breath and bite and claw. So it gets 2 bite and claw attacks in, because that's how it do.
Okay.
So the first bite attack is going to be a 23 to hit.
It's a hit.
And then that's 12 damage.
Okay.
Second attack is probably going to whiff with an 11.
That is going to be a miss.
Okay, then it's going to release its breath weapon, which is going to be fire. And that is a 30-foot cone, which at this point no one has advanced forward, so it's looking like we're all clear. And that is going to be...
Is it a deck save on the fire?
Let me check. Hold on one moment, please. Yep, deck save throw.
All right. Wow. Well, with a 2 rolled, that's going to be a fail.
Okay, very cool then. So then that is going to be 8 fire. No, take it back. 9 fire damage.
Yeah, 1 second. 9 fire damage?
Yeah, it's 2d6.
Right. She is going to, as the fire comes up, she holds a hand up, and you see as some of the flames seem to go around her as she uses her reaction to cast Absorb Elements, and reduces that damage by 4, so she's going to take 5 fire damage from that.
She used her reaction already, so that means no nasty counter spells or any other absorbs that could possibly be coming.
It's her turn next, too.
Ooh, boy.
That's true. Never mind.
Dang.
Is that the end of your turn?
I believe. Hold on. Let me just double check and see if. I don't think I use a bonus action with. No, that did not involve a bonus action. So bonus action. Talmud. We can do this. And Bardic Inspiration for Talmud. I think it's a D10 now. It's a D10. Now I'm done.
All right. She is going to use before her turn. She's actually going to use legendary action, and she points at you, Cantriel. And you feel like, imagine as she points her finger, we just see from her finger the camera rapid fire moves towards you, and your hair begins to blow back as this chill, icy wind envelops you. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, I'm getting a new dice tray because that is the second time tonight. Hold on, I'm just gonna roast it on table. That con save is a 15.
Okay. You feel all of your muscles and your flesh begin to lock up. You are restrained, and you will need to make this save again later as you feel your skin beginning to freeze. Okay. Now for her action, she is going to look around at everybody else that is in here, and she is going to look at you, Thorgarn, or Talmud. Damn it. First time. Messed it up
Which
already.
I think we should get a domain die each time you mess it up.
No. I don't have enough numbers for that. Yeah, we'll do this. Talmud.
Which one is she looking at? Okay.
Let me just double check this. Is that... Oh, I can't do that. That's concentration. Oh, wait. Yes, you can. Yeah, Talmud. In your hands, Gerta Brelne begins to grow increasingly hot.
Counterspell.
What?
Counterspell.
You are going to need to roll for that.
Okay.
Because counterspell is only for 3rd and below, correct?
Yes.
So yeah, the
Wow. She upcasted heat metal. Cool.
heck yeah.
How about a crit? What?
All right, almost as quickly as the metal begins to heat up,
Rolo
you feel it
scampers
dissipate.
forward and like stops and jumps to the side like a kitten and arches her back and goes, "No!"
All right. Let's see. And so, yeah, I didn't do that. So that was her action. So she is going to... She's still standing her ground in front of her throne, but with the hand that she was using to cast heat metal, as soon as it's dispelled, she reaches up like this and just... And I need a D4. 3 stalactites of ice break free from the ceiling. And I need Drown, Talmud, and Thorgarn to make dexterity saving throws. Oh wait, no. Sorry, incorrect. I have to roll to hit on you guys. Drown does a 13 hit.
No, it misses.
Talmud does a 24 hit.
It's close, but yes.
And Thorgarn does a 17 hit.
It does not.
17 okay.
Does not.
Okay, so that means so many dice. Where's the one I want? Talmud.
Don't have to say that, Jacob.
1. Oh, you are getting so lucky. I rolled 2 1s on 3d10. You take 10 points of piercing damage as the bulk of this stalactite that falls from the ceiling, this giant icicle, only just grazes you. And that is her turn, which means it's Thormud's turn.
All right. So I will begin. She's 80 feet away, so I'm not going to be able to get there this turn. But as I close the distance, Forge Fane begins flying in her direction. Long range, because whatnot. Same number on the die. So the first attack is a 22.
Okay, that's a hit.
Second attack, 18.
That's also going to hit.
Those are some pretty numbers.
I need each damage separately because
Okay.
I have to roll for concentration.
Oh, sure. All right. They actually wind up being the same. So that is 21 per hit.
I forget how that works again. So DC is 10 for concentration. It's 10
half
or...
the damage done.
Sorry?
It's 10 or half the damage done.
Okay, that's what I wasn't clear on. That's...
You round up, that'll be 11s.
Okay. And that's... Oops, wrong sheet here. So that is a 12. All right, that's an 8. With the second hit, Cantriel, you feel the frozen grip on you release as her concentration is broken.
Wait, I also did a con check and the dragon's still good on my end.
Say that again?
My dragon's still there.
Oh, perfect. All right. Anything else, Thorgarn?
Yeah, that's it for me.
Talmud.
Okay, so Talmud is he's going to start sprinting towards where her throne is, and she's still standing beside it. And as he begins to run, the tattoos kind of on his body begin to glow as we kind of move up till eventually they get to his face, where another dwarven face kind of emerges from his own, ghostly and blue. And it is cousin Tildane. She says, "I think you've done enough, dearie. It's time to lay down and give it up." drawing Gerte Brelne in one hand, the Talmud is going to, take his cape of the Montebank and wrap it around his body, and then disappear into a cloud of sulfuric smoke, and appear directly next to this incredibly tall version of Vi.
But she's not flying.
I didn't say I landed on her.
I thought that was the only way that worked, is against giant flying creatures.
Have her take off, and then I'll show you.
All right.
Unfortunately, it takes an action to activate, and my bonus to rage, so I get to stand there like a piñata and just stare at her.
Well, that puts you outside of the range of what is about to happen, because you're right next to her. As from the floor, the rest of you watch as a legendary action, as pieces of Chardolin rise up from the ice of the floor. And I need... Well, everybody but Talmud needs to make a dexterity saving throw as the Chardolin explodes. And I'm going to get my sixers here.
Or 17 on the save.
Same.
Does it matter that I'm in the air?
It's a sphere, so no.
Okay. I'm gonna re-roll.
Okay.
Okay, that's better. 16.
All right, and Cantriel.
3.
What number?
23.
Sorry, you're a little on the quiet side, V.
Awesome. Did nothing. 23.
You're the only one that passed, so you will take half damage. Oh my word. I rolled 8d6. 7 of them are 2s.
Nice.
Like, I'm gonna take a picture of this, because this is wild. This is just wild.
I'll refrain
Remember what
from
I was
asking
saying earlier about how
close
the
people
dice
are.
know?
2, 4, 6, 8, well, what am I doing? 7 of them. 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 piercing damage from shrapnel to everybody but Cantriel and Talmud. Talmud, you take none of this. It doesn't reach you. Cantriel, you will take 8 points of piercing damage as the Chardolin explodes around you. And it is now...
I will use a reaction to absorb 14 of that. So
Okay.
I'll take 3.
I don't think anybody is within 30 feet of me currently.
Cantriel ran to 60 feet.
I moved 40 feet closer. So
I didn't-
don't know.
She was 80 at first, so that's still 40 away.
Yeah, I think you're all
I'm
good.
still at the beginning.
Okay,
Just wanted to make sure.
it is Victor's turn. And Victor is going to, well, somebody, 4 of you, roll me d10s.
I'll roll one.
I rolled a 2.
I got a 4.
I
Alright.
rolled a 3.
I got a 7.
2, 4, 3, 7. All right, so for the 2, first I need to roll to see. Okay, that's safe. So Victor rolls at Vi this ray. So Vi makes a con save. Okay, Victor has paralyzed. Victor has paralyzed the Frostmaiden, the viral,
Oh shit.
with the very first ray. Somebody roll me a D100.
Go ahead, V. Do it.
It's a 20. No, take it back. That's a 10. That's a 12 then total.
All right, roll a D10.
A D10. 4.
Victor expands in size by 4 inches in diameter as he is affected by his own wild magic cone. So then we had 2, 3. All right, so that's wisdom. This dice not doing well for the Frostmaiden / Y. However, she did save on that one, so she's not afraid. Somebody roll me a D100. It's a good thing Victor's on your team, right?
You
I got it.
Apparently.
Okay.
It's gonna be a 14.
That is going to be... Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no. Victor has just accidentally backfired a confusion ray on himself.
Oh, no. Can I re-roll? Can we use the domain dice to re-roll that?
You absolutely can. I mean, that's
Yeah,
what
use
they're
the
there
domain
for.
die.
As Victor suddenly goes...
How about a 27?
Well, we'll see if that's better or not. The 27 is going to be a... Well, he's technically not a spellcaster, but it would make all of his action spells bonus actions for the next minute. Third was 4. So Victor casts. Okay, this could have a good benefit for you. She saves, so it doesn't. Another D100, and somebody else might as well roll one more, just to be safe.
72.
Okay, so this one, though it failed to slow her, Victor is now resistant to all damage for the next minute.
Neat. What manner of saving throws are those eye rays he's shooting at her? They're not all dex saves, are they?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Because she auto fails dexterity saving throws right now.
Right. No, the
Just saying, Rolo.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, then in that case she would be slowed. That one was a dex save. Because she's paralyzed. And the final ray was... Oh, boy.
Disintegrate?
No. It's a wisdom save, so thankfully she made that one and is not put to sleep, but I need one more D100 roll for that last wild surge.
83.
83.
83.
Okay. Because because Victor was sticking around near the entry, that's going to be Drown and Rolo. Cantriel, you went how far ahead until you were within?
Move. The dragon moved. She didn't move.
Oh, you didn't move at all. So you
No,
also
the
are.
dragon moved 60 feet.
So you're each going to take 6 necrotic damage as a backfire from this wild surge. As Victor ends his turn. Drown, it is your turn now.
Just for bookkeeping purposes, Jake, I just rolled a 23 on a wisdom saving throw. So, Drown's turn. As Chardolin fragments bite into him and then his life energy gets sucked out, Drown clenches his teeth so hard you hear them creak and then bellows a just furious war cry. Charges forward 30 feet and then casts Far Step as a bonus action and disappears in a spray of sea mist and appears on the other side of Vi from Talmud and just like cursing in giant starts laying into her with this great axe.
All attacks with advantage. Oh,
Said the thing is paralyzed.
and any attack that hits is a critical hit.
So could you super crit it?
Yeah, I could.
Any hit can be turned into a super crit.
Yep.
Okay. I thought you had to crit
so-
to turn it into super crit.
No, you just have to hit. 24 and 25.
Is that damage or attack rolls?
No, those are attack rolls.
Yeah, those are definitely hits.
Okay. So that's 2 hits. This was 22. Oh, wait, no, hold on. Sorry. It's max damage plus die roll. All right. So 12, 24, 35, 46, 47, 56 damage on 2 hits.
As you do so, you see that the damage up close, you're ripping away chunks of frozen vines that make up this cape that Vi has. You see shards of ice mixed with chardelin, and any flesh and blood that is being exposed or otherwise rended is frozen. Vi appears to be frozen through from her joining with the Frostmaiden.
Nasty. Up close, when he strikes with the axe, Talmud, you can see the axe changed when he bonded to it. There's this sort of tentacle etching motif that coils around the handle and across the blade. The tentacles on the blade actually sort of animate with that spectral green writhing, and every time it strikes, they reach into her and rip away some like wispy life essence. Does extra necrotic damage on every hit.
Nice.
And I'm done.
I need you up close as you are ripping into her with this axe. You see, though she can't move, her eyes, which are these glowing orbs of just cold light. There's no discernible pupils to these eyes, yet you feel that they are boring into you. Drown, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
When you're paralyzed, you're incapacitated, right? Which means can't
Yeah.
take actions.
Yep.
Can't take it. Actions or reactions.
Yep, my bad. Because that's a legendary action, so...
She was legendarying me.
Well, you're lucky. Her eyes are still boring into you.
I feel intensely lucky. Thank you, Victor.
All right. Drown, that's you. Rolo.
I think we all know what's coming. I'm gonna cast it at 5th level.
Oh, that's right, because you have spell sculpting. I'm like, you've got like 3 people standing around her, or 2
yeah.
people.
It don't matter. So that was a very satisfying thud. 10, 15, 20, 25.
So your D6s are friendlier than mine were. To me.
35, 39 points of fire damage.
All right.
And Rolo scampers forward a little bit and looks over at Cantriel and goes, "Now with the boom!"
Absolutely with a boom. Big boom.
And she circles her little paws like this for a minute, and these wisps of fire just sort of collect around them. And she brings it forward, and from her stomach just goes, and this mammoth white hot burning fireball streaks forward. And as it impacts on Vi, the flames rush forward to the others, but something shimmers in front of them, and the flames shape around them and pass, unharming them.
Drown and Talmud being so close, you would see that as this searing fire hits, the wounds that you've ripped into her, blood does begin to flow a bit from the heat of the fire. But the flame doesn't seem to burn as fiercely as you would have thought from Rolo's fireball.
Noted.
All right. Anything else, Rolo?
Let's see. No, I think that's gonna do it. I'm gonna move forward.
All right. Okay. Cantriel.
Again, she's not saying anything, and she just pulls the first arrow and sends it loose, and that is a 23 to hit, and we're going to super
That's a crit. Well, it's automatically a crit.
Oh, it's
because-
not. Well, we're gonna super crit this, so we're
Sure.
taking 32, and we're doubling that.
Okay. So that's going to take away 5 domain dice. And doing... I'm sorry, what was the total? 64?
Yeah.
What does this arrow... What does this look like, this super crit from this arrow?
As soon as it leaves Cantriel's bow, it looks almost as if it were on fire, but it's actually this crackling, spinning, almost iridescent energy that's enveloped the arrow, and it strikes true in the center of the forehead of Viral.
As it strikes her in the forehead, the arrow itself shatters as if it were made of ice, but those shards penetrate into her and deal the damage. And that was your first hit.
Mm-hmm. So, second one goes in. It's a crit again, or what? How are we doing this?
Yeah,
Yes,
she's
no, or-
paralyzed. All hits.
Okay,
oh, wait, no.
so-
You know what? That's not a crit because you're not within 5
That's-
feet.
Right.
Sorry.
The auto crit's only from within 5 feet.
Correct.
Okay.
But you
Okay,
did the super crit, which doubled your
Right.
double max.
So this time it is a 22. So I think, because I rarely do this with it, so we're going to do another super crit for this one. So it's another 64, and it's a secondary arrow. And this time the iridescence seems to almost intensify as it goes in the exact same spot as the previous one.
Drown and Talmud, as this arrow also shatters, and the shards seem to embed in her forehead, you see microfractures spreading across the surface of her skin. And you can hear, in the same way, Drown, when you grit your teeth and you could hear them creak, you can almost hear her teeth cracking from the strain of her being paralyzed. That's the end of your turn?
No, because I also have my red dragon. She's going to go in for an attack now as well. So is within 5 feet because has been flying around Vi. Goes in for the bite, so that's a crit, correct?
If it hits.
Yeah, if it hits.
If it hits.
And
Yeah,
it
and
has
you-
advantage.
Yep, you have to roll to hit with advantage, and if you hit, it's a crit.
I think it's going to hit with a 27.
Yes, that will be a crit then.
Okay, so question, do we want to give Drago a super crit too, just for shits and giggles? No, I'm kidding. It's actually not as impressive. The dice count isn't high enough. So then that will be so 15 plus, so 18
That's from the bite.
plus, well, because yeah,
Okay.
for the first bite. And the second bite goes in. This time it is a 26 to hit. No, 25 to hit, sorry. 25, 25, 25.
Crit.
And then that becomes crit again. Okay, so then that becomes another 17.
Y'all are throwing out some big numbers, and I'm pissed that I'm
And then
not
there's-
matching these
Oh,
numbers.
wait, no.
I-
That's right. There's people
Auto crits,
around. There's people around. So before Drago goes in to do fire breath, Cantriel will cease it from happening.
Yay.
I created Victor the Beholder. I gave you Victor the Beholder. Therefore, I am hoisted by my own petard. Sorry, what was that last thing you just said?
It was about to go in for its fire breath, but Cantriel she almost makes like this quick, not a grunt, but like this clearing of the throat, and the dragon stops because she knows that it's going to affect her companions.
Okay. Perfect. It is now Viral's turn.
Oh, bonus action. Bard! She's going to give bardic inspiration to Thorgarn. She just sort of quirks an eyebrow and like nods her head to Viral.
Well, on her turn, she can take
Did Cantriel still have to make saving throws from something?
No, concentration was broken.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I failed this on the second attack from Thorgarn. She failed the concentration save.
I didn't realize that was
Yep.
right. Got it. I missed that. Cool.
No actions, or reactions. So all I can do is attempt to save. I'm not rolling that die because it wasn't being very cool to me.
Roll poorly.
Let's see. So that's a con. Son of a... She is still paralyzed.
I'm surprised she doesn't have legendary resistance.
She doesn't, because she's got other things.
Oh, ominous. Okay, then. Well,
Okay, there is something else that's happening, though. Because this is not her action, this is a lair action.
Lair actions are still the creature doing it.
Are they?
Yes,
Damn your rules, Dan!
I know.
Lair actions are technically the creature doing it. I will take your
That's
word for
really
it.
good to know. I
The
did not know
lair
that.
gives the creature the ability to take lair actions.
All right. You all notice as the lair shudders ominously, but no stalactites fall.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That is how this is happening. Just know that things are building up.
Yeah.
She will get free,
Yeah.
and she will have her
Yeah.
revenge. It's the dwarves' turn.
All right. So I can complete my charge. As I get all the way to her, my tattoos glow fire hot as I too begin the rage, and my ancestors begin to pour out around me and get into melee. She is paralyzed. I rolled with advantage. That is a 31 to hit.
And you ran up
because
to
it's
her?
a crit.
Yep, so
Yeah.
it's a crit.
So I expend a spell slot. That is 98 points of damage.
Oh my word. Okay. So
That bardic inspiration.
Thank you for the bardic inspiration there, Cantriel. That did 17 points of damage.
okay, so this is going to trigger something with this first attack.
Okay.
As Thorgarn, yes, that was me hesitating to say the right name. As Thorgarn, you come charging in. There's this corporeal ancestral dragon that's flitting around. Drown and Talmud are right up there. Rolo's in the background along with Cantriel with their bow. You come charging up and you put your full force into it with Forge Fane and slam into the crystal at the center of the Frostmaiden / Vi the Corrupted, dealing all of this massive damage. As you do so, the Frostmaiden / Vi Viral cracks begin to spread throughout her body, and she explodes into shards of ice. I need everybody that is within 60 feet of the Frostmaiden to take or make a dexterity saving throw. I believe you do so with advantage. Barbarians.
Dwarves. Yeah, 17.
And then don't roll twos. I mean, I'm not hoping to kill these guys, but
Roll 2s.
okay.
We would also take 1s.
Okay. Well, you got 1, 1, and 1, 2. Let's see. So, what's everybody got for saving throw?
17.
Not close
Earned
enough.
Okay.
The only thing I've heard pass so far is over 20, so I don't think so.
Nobody got over 20?
I
got
burned a domain
24.
die, and the highest I got was a 12.
V, I don't think Cantriel's close enough.
We're not
I think
close
we're
enough.
If you're within
Oh, okay.
60 feet, yeah, the two
Oh,
of you,
wait.
I think, stayed at the far end, and so did Victor.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh,
the
I
other
I can
three.
use, I can use Bardic Inspiration on saving throws?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to try it. No. Only brought it up to a 15.
29 points of piercing damage.
Oof,
Can you
the-
use your ancestor spirits to absorb some of that from me?
So 29.
Yes, I will. Let's see. How much was it total again, Jake?
29.
29. So we take 15, Jeremy.
Yep.
All right. And then, yeah, I'm going to send out my ancestors to shield Drown from some of that. 9 points is what they will absorb.
Take it.
So,
Jake, does that count as being damaged by a creature?
in terms of the damage you're taking,
Mhm.
yeah, I would say so. I mean, she's technically a creature, so.
All right. I'm going to burn a domain die, and that gives me a 17. So, sorry, 19.
A 19 for.
Wisdom saving throw.
Oh, yes. The first time you said that, I was like, what? Oh, yeah. So, Thorgarn, you're sort of in the middle of your action and you just shattered the Frostmaiden. You see pieces of glowing ice shards embedded in the throne, along with pieces of Chardolin. Some of these pieces of Chardolin and ice are embedded in some of you. For the moment, you appear to be out of combat.
Well, I will use my second action or second attack, and I will bring Forge Fane down on the throne.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack.
That is going to be a 26.
All right. Go ahead and roll damage.
That's 15.
As you strike the throne, you feel Forge Fane is just stopped dead.
Sorry, 17. 17 damage.
Okay. It's just stopped dead, but a hairline fracture spreads up. You watch as all of you are standing there and waiting. Go ahead and make me, everybody, perception checks at advantage.
12.
13.
31.
22.
Rollo?
Nice.
14.
Cantriel and Talmud. You notice that all around you, even the ones that are embedded in you, Talmud, as the ice and Chardolin pieces begin to melt and run like mercury down your body and across the surface of the ice. And all of these shards begin to move towards the center of the floor, where as they begin to gather, you see the center of the floor begins to melt away. And all of this sort of almost like mercury, the chatelaine and shards of ice and chips of vine, frozen, now liquid pieces of blood, all of this just seems to coalesce in the center and begins melting in until there's about a 3-foot diameter hole in the center. And then a moment later, you feel the ground begin to tremble beneath you. Nobody is close enough to the center at this moment to be able to see down, but you do know there's at least a couple floors below you. But you feel the trembling. And then you watch as the center of the floor explodes outward as a gargantuan frostworm emerges in the middle of this chamber. And that's where we're going to take our break. That was just perfect timing. I just glanced over. It was 9:48. I'm like, oh, okay, we're going to go ahead and take a break. So, the fight took a turn. And here we are. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and take about a 10-minute break. So, thank you, everybody who's tuned in so far. Please stick around. We will be back in about 10 minutes. See you on the other side. And we're back. And a frost worm has just exploded into the center of this upper area, which also means that there's basically a 10-foot diameter hole in the middle of the floor. What did you just do?
Oh, whoops. Oopsie.
I just want to make sure I catch them.
Oops.
The thing. But I just remembered that you got to be careful when you're giving gifts because it can.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I think
Oops.
it looks good. I think.
Yeah. One I'm worried about.
But that also helped me to catch. I missed earlier that Cajun Kevin resubbed. So I will get you that domain die, and then I'll bump you up by 5. No, I just said, what did you do? Mostly because I just saw the sudden surge of stuff.
Well, I didn't get to do it on Monday, so I figured I'd do it tonight.
All right, let's find the bonus here. Bump you up by 5 there. Wait, what was that? I just lost what it was at. Okay, it was 40. It was at 35. All right, here you go.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, so you got a giant frostworm. Thorgarn, you had used your first attack to shatter the Frostmaiden / Vi the Corrupted. And while the ice shards were just beginning to form, you used your second attack to put a crack in the Frostmaiden's throne that you're standing next to. Technically, if you have any bonus actions, you could use them now. It's still technically your turn.
I'd use my bonus action to rage.
Okay, perfect. So that is going to take us to Talmud. You are standing over by the throne now. Let me check my map just so I can give you accurate distance. That would be 10, 15, nope, 10, 20, 30, about 30, 40 feet to where the frost worm is in the middle.
And you would get a bump of 5 feet from me if you needed it.
Would I really? Perfect. And that gives me exactly 40 feet.
All right, there you go.
Sweet. Excellent. Thank you, sir. So, Jake, whenever you say frostworm, just double checking, this is WORM?
Yes. So,
okay. All right. That's fair.
Lest there's any confusion, this is basically what you see. The armor plating across its back looks like sheets of ice. There is a rime of ice coating this whole thing. It's otherwise appears similar to purple worms as it rises up. I'm not even going to look at the two of them because I know it's not anything good.
It's probably good, to be fair.
Well, true.
It's very good. It's not appropriate.
Talmud,
not mutually exclusive.
what would you like to do now that you're next to this giant writhing purple worm?
All on a Thursday night.
You did that on purpose.
Yep. It's been a couple weeks
Are we still talking about gaming?
since we played.
Oh my god. I blame V. I looked at her and I broke.
I looked at you and broke. You can't. You were starting it.
Oh my gosh. I've missed you guys.
Until Dane looks back at the group and yells, "Time to mount up!" And she runs at the purple worm. She brings out her big, huge hammer and is going to hit this thing.
All right.
Thankfully, with the boost from Thorgarn, I can make it. All right. Attacking recklessly. Because honestly, is there another choice? That's going to be a dirty 30.
All right. That's a hit.
Then I'm going to go ahead and make it a super crit.
Because why not?
And why not, indeed? As a matter of fact, as I close the distance between us, Cousin Tildane raises Gerta Brilne up into the sky, shouting, "Time to mount up!" And as she does so, a opening in the ceiling allows for a lightning bolt to pierce down through and strike the mall, charging it with electricity.
I have to check
And
something.
then I'm going.
I have to check something real quick as you do that.
Okay, sure.
Continue with what you're doing, but I'm just checking something.
Okay, cool. She brings down Gertil Brelne upon this Purstal worm. Purstal worm? Wow. I'm going to hit this here Purstal worm, and I'm going to do some damage. So, yeah, super crit. Charging it with lightning. That is 206 points of damage.
Sweet. Taylor.
What?
Yes.
Goodness gracious!
Eva.
Yes. Yes.
200 and what?
206.
Oh my gosh.
Normal damage is 20 with a rage is 23, and then 80 points of lightning on top of that. That's 103 times 2 is 206.
Wow. So this 10 points of cold damage you take from being up next to it and hitting it, it's going to seem paltry because it's
So I
halved.
take 5.
It's halved because of your resistance. So yeah, you just feel a slight. You just get a little shiver. Ugh.
Honestly, I was having that anyways with 206 points of damage being dealt.
Wow.
I don't even know what this game is anymore.
Wow.
Thor, eat your heart out. I'm then going to make my second attack.
And remember, we're only level 13. Imagine what it's going to be like when we're 20.
I can't even imagine. All right, the second one is a 24.
That is a hit.
Okay. This one will be nowhere near as impressive, but that's 18 more points.
Yeah, there's still, as you're striking it for the second time, there's like pieces of its frozen armor, teeth, flesh that are falling away from this thing, from the sheer amount of damage you did to it. I'm actually gonna do. Okay, never mind. That's fine. That's a 30. Because of the amount of damage you did to it, I rolled a con save on it. But it was a 30, so it's good. All right, is there anything else you're going to do?
No, I think I'm good.
All right. Oh, good Lord. Here comes my petard. Somebody roll me some D10s.
How many?
It's 4 D10s.
Oh, Lord.
I'll roll one. 9.
Oh, no. I'm going to do these one at a time. Let me roll a D20 first. Okay, that's safe. So that's a dexterity saving throw from the worm. It does not have a good dex. Son of a bitch. It just makes its dex save. So... Oh, boy.
I would like you to re-roll that.
Oh, my gosh.
You realized which one it is, didn't you?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me square. I want to square up the domain dice so I don't lose track of those.
I'm curious about this one.
You guys are going to two-shot my frostworm. Okay, here we go. Another save. This time it is a 5, which is a fail. Well, since you rolled it, you want to go ahead and roll the 10d8 for the disintegration ray there, Goblin Katie?
Sure, I would love to. 10?
Yep, 10d8.
Lord.
That was very satisfying. 45.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a D100.
Okay. 67.
67. So as this oh boy. As this disintegration blast shoots out from Victor's eye, he immediately goes, "Oh no, what have I done?" And flies as far back as he can and actually goes partway down the stairs because he is now frightened of this creature. So he will not take his other eye ray attacks. Also, with him ducking down, that means the wild magic is no longer affecting the area.
That's fantastic.
No, don't do that.
The funny part is, I'm not going to say what I just read, but there is a GIF of me from the Harper's Tale with the exact reaction necessary for this. I love you guys. Victor's turn is over. Drown.
Did it not get disintegrated?
No, it did not.
Oh, delightful! All right, so Drown vanishes in a crackle of arcane energy with the far step and teleports right next to the giant thing thrusting through the hole and just goes to town on it.
RQ Stefan, you know what to do. Silly
Is there a
me.
lot of froth from Drown's attacks on this one?
Oh yeah, spraying all over the place.
Wow. So, I.
But
Look of the deep one.
Will it be the money shot?
I was so concentrating on all the other aspects while I prepped for this. The effects of putting a giant purple worm in the midst of this group did not ever cross my mind.
Well, that's your fault.
Yes, it is.
Jake, we crack up with the
was-
word bushes.
Too long.
You were calling it like a throbbing or pulsing purple worm. Like, come on, man.
I think I said it was wriggling about.
I think you
Right.
did it on
Writhing.
purpose.
I used writhing.
Writhing. Undulating.
All right, so Drown, you're going to town on the purple worm.
Going to town on the purple worm.
It was a
Yeah.
frost worm.
Well, it's a
Well, you
frost
know.
worm. It's still purple.
The purple worm before, but now it's
It's frostbitten.
It's frozen stiff.
8 and a
You're
20.
gonna have to seek help.
paladin.
Nice.
Well, yeah,
28 and 23 to hit.
those are both going to be hits. Yeah, this encounter is not going to last more than 4 hours.
I was about to say.
I mean,
We have a cleric though if we need one.
Oh my god.
Don't worry, it'll be smaller by the
Fatigue,
time we're
greater
done.
or lesser?
Oh boy.
I love you guys.
So
I have missed y'all.
So it's
Roll.
going to be 36 damage.
oh my word.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
All right. Wow.
And that's,
We did.
that's done. That's my turn.
Rolo.
Oh, how do I follow that up? I'm just gonna
I
bring my
just
big old
don't
balls in
know.
here. I'm gonna bring my big old balls in on this. All right.
I
let's
just
do it.
don't
Two
know.
fireballs?
Be careful of the burning edge. That's all.
Okay.
Oh my.
Let's see. Let's
How beat up is this worm looking?
It's in pretty sad shape. It's not
Braided,
as it's not as
bruised, yeah.
rigid and tall as it once was.
Sure. Not standing as proudly.
Right.
In that case, we're just
Happens
gonna
to
go
everybody.
with a 3rd level fireball. So I need a dex save.
Oh well, it's really good at Dex. That's a 16.
It fails. It's an 18.
Okay.
And I'm just going to use D&D Beyond dice, and I should not have. It's 34.
34.
Rolo scampers to the side and like takes aim and does this for a minute, and wisps of fire kind of coil and coalesce in front of her hands, and she goes whoosh, and the fireball goes flying out, and it's beelining to where it's going to hit Drown, and at the last second it stops, moves a foot to the left, and then proceeds to hit it.
Okay, so I need a quick assessment of where everybody is. This thing's in the middle. I guess it doesn't matter. It's in the middle, so that means everybody's within 60 feet of it. As Rolo, your fire, the immediate damage wouldn't have been enough to take it out, but the fact that it's vulnerable to fire, you see that as it absorbs the flame into its body, you see inside as cracks across its carapace begin to glow with a blue flame. The entire thing shatters just like Viral did a little bit ago. I need dex saves from everybody.
Jake, I'm going to use a domain die.
Alrighty.
I think I'm going to as well.
3, 5,
Same.
An effect that we can see.
Talmud, did you say you were using one as well?
I did.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Both did.
We both did.
Yeah, I think we're at 3 currently.
Yeah. So
Thorgarn just asked, is this an effect that you can see?
said what?
Is this an effect we can see?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, I got a dirty 20.
Okay, you saved. Anybody get a 20 or above besides Thorgarn? Then you will all take 5, 10, 15, 21, 24, 25, 26 points of piercing damage.
26, you said?
Sorry. 26 points of cold damage, not piercing damage. This is a different explosion. So if you're resistant, then that will be halved to 13.
Okay. Nice.
Because I know
And
many...
If you're immune, you take none.
Yeah, and if you're immune, you take none.
And then as that happens, the red
Wow.
dragon red dragon will dissipate as the shards start flying towards it. It had 11 HP.
Yeah.
The other thing that you see as this explodes, you see where the head sort of just explodes away and goes skittering towards the throne. But as it does so, pieces of flesh and the armor at its back sheds away, and you see in this almost like 3-point stance, sliding backwards towards the throne, is Viral standing there once again. And she stands up to her feet and looks around at all of you. I'm just getting started.
We started?
Rolo, you still have a bonus. If you have a bonus action, you can take it.
Let's see. Do I have a bonus action I want to take? I do not. So no, I will not be taking a bonus action.
I had to burn a domain die, but I got a
wait.
15 on my wisdom save.
Got a what?
I passed my wisdom save,
Okay.
but it cost me a domain die.
Cool.
I don't have one. Yeah, I'm good.
All right. So that's going to bring us back to the top of the order, Cantriel. So for the purposes of where everybody is in relation, she's back over by the throne, which was 80 feet away from where you came up. Which,
Okay.
Cantriel, I think you're one of the only ones that didn't actually move.
Yeah, I haven't moved at all, but that's still within my range, so I'm
Yep.
good. Again, she's not going to be saying a blessed word, and she's going to shoot off a couple rounds, and we're back to Viral, so cool. Sempre's in motion. Hi.
Crit? Did you crit?
I did.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's
Oh boy.
doing the twiggle. How else would it be?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go just crit it up, and so it's 32 to begin with. Base is 32, and then add in. Hold on a moment, please. Oh, really?
Do it. Do it.
You want me to super crit?
Yeah.
Fun. Okay, fine. We'll super crit, and we'll give it a good old round number of 64.
Yeah.
All right.
Qualler like the super crit.
This time, as your arrow strikes and shatters, it only partially shatters. Most of the arrow penetrates into Viral.
Ooh, interesting.
Okay. Going in for a second round. Do we want to do another super crit?
I mean,
or-
we've got the dice.
Well, you know what? I forgot to take the dice off for that super crit. So
Yes, it's...
you're doing a second super crit.
Yeah, why not? Do another
All right,
super
knock you
crit.
down to 120.
Okay, cool. Let me see. One moment, please.
Is that another 64?
Yep. And let's see how... I'm gonna leave it at that, just in case. Yep, that's it for her.
Is anybody standing right next to her? You're still over by the throne, right, Thorgarn?
I am.
Oh no, she didn't have that out. She can't do that. Okay. I need Thorgarn as she turns to the side and looks at you with those icy eyes. I need you, as her legendary action, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
I'm going to use a domain die.
All right.
Yay!
How do you feel about a natural 20 for a total of 29?
I feel that her gaze staring at you does nothing to you.
I'm sorry, I just don't feel that way about you.
She is going to speak some arcane words, and she is going to point her hand at Cantriel
Counterspell.
and at, let me check the level of the spell. And she's going to, well, let's see what happens with the counterspell. That's 10 plus the spell's level
Right.
for the DC, so.
How about a 19?
Are you freaking kidding me? It was a
I
ninth
am
level
not
spell.
kidding you.
It was a 9th level spell. You needed a 19 to counterspell it. Wow.
You don't target
Amazing.
Cantriel.
Wow.
Good job, Rolo.
Okay, well, I mean,
Rolo again, like, hops around and arches her back and, like, jumps sideways a couple steps and goes, no!
you know those video games where you fight against somebody like this big bad boss, and then later you have to fight like 5 of them before you even get to the boss? Yeah, just wait. That was my 1 9th level spell. I had big plans for that.
I'm sorry.
She is pissed. She is going to activate the layer action now.
Uh-oh.
Whoops, I got to roll the d4 first. That's a 4. So 1, 2, 3. Rolo, the first one's coming for you. Cantriel, the second one for you. Thorgarn, one for you. And Drown, one for you. So everybody but Talmud. Does a dirty 20 hit you, Drown? Natural 20 for Cantriel.
That's a reroll.
So let's see. Let me get this down.
Yeah, it is.
15. So that's. Whoops. Okay. Oh my gosh. Can't hit my own. There we go. So that natural 20 becomes a 9. So that's going to miss you.
Yes, yeah.
Rolo, 23 to hit. 22 to hit.
Yeah, hits.
No, it is a 23, sorry. And then Thorgarn, a 19 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
All right, and that is...
Hey, Jake, go ahead and re-roll the attack on Drown, please.
Okay. Is that a domain or an effect?
Oh yeah, domain.
Okay.
Are any of them within 30 feet of me?
I am, because we were both by the worm, right?
Okay.
And I would think maybe Rolo.
17.
I'm still at the entrance.
That's still a hit, Drown?
Yep.
Okay. Then I'll send my spirits to intercept some of the damage coming for Drown.
That's going to be 17 points of piercing damage to everybody that got hit. And a save from you, Drown.
9 points off the damage from you, Drown.
Thanks. So I'll take 8 piercing damage, and I pass the save, Jake.
Okay. Excellent. So that's the lair action. And you all can see as she does this, where before she just sort of lazily held her hand up and motioned for the ice to fall. This time, you can see she's struggling to raise her hands. And and it is Thorgarn and Talmud.
All right. So how close to me is she?
She's right next to you if you're at the throne.
Is there a 5-foot gap, or is she like literally in melee?
Well, your last action was to attack the throne, so you're in melee range.
Okay. All right. All right. Might as well do it. All right. So that is a 28 to hit.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna super crit that with my last third level spell slot. So let's see here. That is...
Y'all have burned somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 or 50 domain dice tonight.
Boss battle.
So that's 112 points of damage on the first attack.
On the first attack.
We're
112.
fighting the named boss.
Right.
This is the giant robot crab we've been hoarding all of our missile launchers for.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Add 4 more to that because I'm raging.
Sure.
116.
Sure. Why not?
22 to hit with my second attack.
Yep.
Let's see here. So we got 28 for my second attack.
28 damage.
Damage, yeah. Offhand attack is a 19 to hit.
That'll do it.
All right. And this don't do as much. Oh, well. Rolled max damage on the die. So it's going to be 8, 9, 11 points.
All right. You are seeing no longer frozen blood spray out from these wounds as you are ripping into her flesh. You actually see the crystal of the Frostmaiden in the center of her appears to be melting. The vines that make up her cloak look as though they are wilting. Talmud, it is your turn.
Okay. Having just jaunted across this distance, Talmud is going to wheel around and make his way back, but alas, will be 5 feet short on this one because he didn't start his turn next to Thorgarn this time around. So, I think that's about all I can really do, sadly. So I'm going to ready an action. If she gets close to me, I would like to attack her with my weapon. I'll spit at her. Patooey. Gonna make her mad.
Victor is still cowering in the stairwell. I just rolled a very low wisdom save for him. He is not coming up from that stairwell, which means drown. It is your turn.
How close is Vireel to Talmud? Just like 5 feet away?
Yeah, there's a 5-foot gap from Talmud to...
Okay. Then instead of using Far Step to teleport, he's simply going to run 30 feet towards them and then cast Eldritch Blast. Gather 3 crackling bolts of shimmering green energy. 27, 17, and 26.
Those are all hits.
Oh, sweet. So the first one is going to coalesce into one of those spectral tentacles and yank her 10 feet towards him into Talmud's threat range.
How much damage did that first one do? Or just...
Oh, I haven't done anything yet. Okay. Max damage. So 15 force damage.
All right, and then it's pulled into your range for your held action.
Spectacular. Thank you.
You bet.
All right. Can I claim Reckless off of my turn like this?
I think only during your turn.
Okay.
But you'd have to check for sure.
Yeah, I can't remember the wording on it. I know it says with your first attack, so I don't think that it would apply here. That is a dirty 20.
We know a 17 hits, so
that's a hit.
We know 17 hits.
Cool. All right, so let's see. 18 points of damage.
As Drown's first Eldritch Blast makes this tentacle appear and strike her and pull her towards you into the waiting Gerta Brelne, you strike into her, causing her to throw her head back as you cut a large swath across her chest, shattering parts of the crystal. She staggered, standing there, waiting for your other 2 hits, which were actually hits, I believe.
Yep, the other 2 Eldritch Blasts hit, and that's a total of 18 force damage.
Which is 5 more than you needed. Drown, how do you want to do this?
Drown just sort of stalks forward, bellowing and screaming, and just like throwing out his hand and lashing out with these searing energy tentacles. The first one ripping her forward and just like relentlessly lashes at this exposed crystal. He is furious. Usually he's very cold and almost emotionless. He is, he's doing a pretty decent barbarian impression at the moment.
As you're just striking into it with these blasts, they seem to absorb into that crystal. The arc of blood from where Talmud had just struck and all of the other wounds seems to reverse as this energy begins to coalesce inside her, and you see the shimmering, vibrating energy in the center of this crystal. And one last time, there's an explosion. And I need everybody within 60 feet to make a dexterity saving throw. Just gonna ride you right,
And this-
take you right to the edge there with those saves, Dan. So yeah, I need it's a DC 20. So if you get 20 or above, you're good. Oh, I keep putting these away. I've used them more than ever. 7. All right. So anybody get under 20? Oh boy, Drown and Thorgarn.
Drown.
That's 18, 20, 24, 27, 29 points of piercing damage. We'll have down to 15 if you saved. And we'll have again if you're raging.
Okay. My spirits renew. My reaction renews on my turn, right? Okay.
You had to burn your reaction to take your readied.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Absolutely. Yep, you're right. Thank you.
So if you failed, you took 29 points of piercing damage. If you passed, you took 15. And if you're raging, you also took half of whatever that damage was. Because it's piercing. And judging by that reaction, I'm guessing you made that last save.
I rolled yet another 11, which gives me a 15. Yes.
I knew that this was going to be the one that mattered the most.
Like this one is actually, if I'm going to blow one, this is the one.
Yeah.
During the fight, disaster.
Yeah. Well, here we are. As this happens, this explosion, and some of you feel the shards of ice and chardolin ripping through your skin. You are on the second floor of this castle. There's a large hole in the middle of this floor, 10 feet in diameter. The explosion of Viril seems to reverberate through Grimskull as you all feel the castle begin to shake and pieces of ice, chunks of ceiling begin falling. The castle is collapsing around you. So we're going to hold our initiative order, and I'm going to have you tell me. So let's see, Drown, you were the last one to go, so that's going to bring us to Rollo. It's obvious to you that this castle is crashing around you, and you have not very long to get out. It's your turn, Rollo. What do you want to do?
It's time to go.
Are there windows in here?
There are 2 large windows on either side of the throne.
Okay. The eye is down, right?
Yes. The ice shards are not moving. Well, they're moving because the castle's shaking, but they're not doing that T2 thing, so you feel confident that Drown destroyed her.
Rollo is going to run over, and she reaches into a pocket and pulls out a single down feather and swallows it. Just and then goes and casts Featherfall on everyone. And she runs over to the window and starts scratching at it.
We have to be actually falling.
Oh, you do?
That. But it's a reaction. So once we're falling,
okay. Start scratching at the window. Oh, actually,
it's open. It's an open window.
Open window.
It's like it's the eyes of the skull.
Rollo, make sure you don't get hurt.
Rollo has just told you all to...
But jump at same time! That's very important!
Talmud... So here's the interesting part, is Cantriel is the furthest away.
Cantriel also has Featherfall.
Okay.
She also has Fly.
Yep. She's got a couple of airborne
Everybody
tricks.
else
It's in the
is
same spot.
pretty close to the window. So if you all choose to follow Rolo's direction, you can okay. Wow. All right. So I'm going to move into narrative mode then, if you're all going to follow through on this, as we cut to a shot looking outside at just center frame is this skull of Grimskull, this giant frozen skull with a crown of ice. And we suddenly see several small forms come charging out of the darkness as this whole thing is shaking, jumping out of the eye sockets as Rolo suddenly spits this feather everywhere. As you begin to fall, I believe it's at a rate of 60 feet per round.
Mm.
It will take you 10 rounds to reach the bottom. Because you were 600 feet up on Grimskull. As the entirety of Grimskull Keep collapses behind you, we cut to a shot far down below on the island of Solstice, where there are several ice sculptures that are beginning to thaw. And as the ice melts away, elk and moose and bears, rabbits, deer, all manner of animals break free from the ice, the spell broken. And in the midst of all of these animals looking confused, sodden fur from the melting ice, 5 figures land softly in the snow. And that is where we are going to end tonight's session of the Dawnbringers.
Good thing we had no one. Wait, are we jumping on 3 or 3 then jump? Oh.
I think I had forgotten about the flyers and the feather falls, so you would have had to, it would have taken a couple rounds to get down to the bottom. You would have had to dodge some falling ice. I love the cinematics of this so much better. Another epic fight that did not go anywhere near how I thought it was going to go, both in terms of my big bad getting paralyzed for a couple rounds and the completely innocent insertion of a giant person. Damn it. Freezing, Jake.
What was that, Jake? What were you saying?
I was nothing.
What
There's,
was that?
you know what?
Oh, okay, go ahead, honey. Speak your mind. It's okay.
It was my choice to put a purple worm in.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Oh my gosh. This was so awesome of a return. Not only have you...
Just as long as, consent was there, right?
Yes.
Enthusiastic consent.
It was... Yes.
Enthusiastic.
Not only did you defeat the Frostmaiden, you have defeated Vi the Corrupted. You still have a few things to do here in Icewind Dale. But we will find out soon what happens. I do have actually a little bit, just a small epilogue to this sort of post-credit scene, as everybody is sort of looking around and the animals are scampering away. Thorgarn, from within your wherever you have, I think you were wearing Fig's hat of holding, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
From within the hat, you hear Fig's voice. Thorgarn.
Yeah.
Get me out of here. You don't hear this voice in your head like you have been. You hear it from within the hat.
Okay, I'll take off the hat and reach inside.
Reaching inside, you find Fig's head. And as you pull it out, Fig's eyes lock onto yours. What happened to me? Where is my body? And that's where we're going to end, because next week, M is returning as Figure 1 Prometheus. Or Figure 2 Prometheus. I actually had that on my notes here, and I almost forgot to do that little postscript.
Well, Figure point to Prometheus right now, but we'll figure
yeah, right. Yes, unless
the only question is who's going to be Chewbacca to her C-3PO.
Right.
That's probably me. That's probably Drown.
Right.
That's fair.
So unless some scheduling or something else comes up, we are fully expecting for M to return. And Goblin Katie will be remaining with us for the rest of the 5th season, however long that takes. It's been a blast having you and Rolo be a part of this all summer long.
I'm having a spectacular time.
And we are
MVP tonight too.
Yeah, this was. You don't know
all right,
much.
Jake, what got counterspelled?
Yeah, what got, I'm
Oh
curious.
yes, please.
9th level Blight, which would have been meta magicked into a twinned spell.
Blah.
If it had hit, had gone off, that was 13d8 each. I'm just going to go ahead and roll that with the dice roller because I would have used that. That would have been 67 points of necrotic damage to each person that failed.
Good grief.
Which Cantriel, that looks like it would have almost taken you out. And Drown, you would have been the other target on that one. So yeah, that's
I would have survived it at that point.
Okay.
But not by much.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the
right
that's
now,
the one
yeah.
9th level spell. So yeah,
Bloodied as hell, turns out.
this at some point in the future, maybe I'll talk more in detail about some of the things I did with this, but this was interesting to take a level 20 villain character and combine it with aspects of the Frostmaiden and find ways to make it work and create cool effects. Like basically when she hit Bloodied is when she turned into the Frostworm. But every attack, everything you did, you avoided what her major buffs were. Nobody did cold damage.
Oh no.
The fire damage she was resistant to, but she was actually immune to cold damage. And nobody, the only magical effects that were like spell effects that were cast on her was the fireball. And even with advantage, I still failed those. So everything that she had some sort of a buff against, you guys dodged around it. And the paralysis was just a great roll from Victor. And I think you guys had me re-roll the save. Katie did, which turned that into a failed. And yeah, this was your fight. This was your fight. And what a fight. She was another one that I also buffed with a lot of hit points. Between the worm form and the and Vi, you actually, it was another total 1,000 hit points that you worked against. Ooh. There was one final form, sort of a Hail Mary, but you took her out before she had a chance to do it. She has elemental wild shape.
Oh God.
Yeah. I was waiting.
She has unlimited wild shapes too, doesn't she?
Yep. And she can cast spells while wild shaped. So,
damn.
Yeah, those are the benefits of an archdruid.
That's
but
okay.
Like I said,
counter 'em.
everything you did,
Everything
you did dodged around all of her buffs and her specialties. And the paralysis kept me from doing some of my bigger effects, and the counter spell kept some of those big spells out. So
I do need to know something.
20th level moon druids have so many hit points. It's ridiculous.
I do need to know something. Did the walrus survive?
I guess we'll have to wait and see next week.
Scum.
Scum and villainy.
You know what? Since you asked, we're gonna do one of my D20 or D100 rolls.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll my Thor's Ire dice from Talon and Claw sponsor. I have a number here. I'm gonna say that there is a 25% chance that he survived.
Okay.
You need to roll and see if you get within this number.
43.
Looking around, you see no sign of the giant walrus. I rolled a 9.
Well, walrus
Reroll! Reroll that! Use a domain die!
That would be you re-rolling.
Yeah. Okay, I'm re-rolling.
The things we do for love.
45. No, it's not meant to be.
It's not meant to be.
You got.
Not meant to be. Well, I just gotta say that this was an absolutely amazing return after a couple of weeks. I'm gonna try something real quick before we go. 40. Okay. This was an epic return to the game, an epic ending for a double big boss. The season's not over yet. We don't know exactly how many episodes we have left, but I'm willing to bet that we're in single digits of remaining episodes for this season, as there's really not a whole lot left for them to do but find the rest of their ship and their friends, and see if they can get the heck out of this area. And anything else they want to do. They have some allies here in Icewind Dale and haven't talked to anybody since they ended the Frostmaiden's reign. So we'll see next week how that goes, and hopefully we'll be able to welcome M back. In the meantime, tune in tomorrow night to Nerdarchy Live, where you will find Ted DMing V, myself, and a couple other friends in our untraditionally arcane game. And you can tune in on Monday nights to catch us, another group here with Dwight the Big Bearded Nerd, D&D Jordan Lee, Gary from FortNerd.com, our friend Ricky, and Carrie Skoltons, as I run Scribes and Scrolls, the Candlekeep Mysteries. And if you are subscribed to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/mini-terrain domain, you will notice that over the last week, not even week, since Monday, I have been furiously posting my backlog of videos. We are all caught up on Dawnbringers VODs, with the exception of tonight's episode, which will go live this weekend. And we are almost caught up. I think the first 10 of 15 Scribes and Scrolls are uploaded to the YouTube channel. So if you miss out on that one, be sure to check up on that. And if you're not able to watch us live, you can always check the VODs on that channel. Yes.
Can we give a shout out to D&D Jordan Lee?
Yes, I was going to do that. Not only D&D Jordan Lee, as many of you may know, you look down below Jeremy, you will see that Jordan's logo is down there. I am going to do a quick shout out to D&D Jordan Lee.
He's currently working 3 channels because bots are hitting them.
Yes, Jordan has been phenomenal, expertly. Those of you in chat, if you could see what's going on behind the scenes, Jordan is like a paladin for the channels, smiting all of these hate bots before they can even take an action. And in addition to Jordan, I want to be sure to shout out Pronouns in My Bio. Yes. Pronouns in My Bio has also been doing some incredible work behind the scenes on multiple channels. I think some 15 channels, including Mini Terrain Domain here. And be sure to look up Jordan and Pronouns in My Bio on Ko-Fi. I know they both have Ko-Fis. Throw some support there. Support that you might have thrown to me right now. Don't. Instead of supporting us, throw it over to them. They deserve it. They have been working tirelessly, and I know that Pronouns in My Bio is a professional mod with services for hire. So if you are looking for a professional mod, seek them out. Absolutely incredible. I give them top ratings. I've seen them in action behind the scenes. I've seen what they've been doing here. This is a wild west that we're in right now. It's outrageous. Even as we're talking, Jordan's still banning people.
Yeah.
So just make sure that you give them the support, give them check out their channels. With that, I just want to say once again a huge thank you to everybody who has tuned in tonight to hang out with us, new followers. We appreciate you. And if you are one of those people that is lurking quietly in the background and you don't participate in chat, thank you. We appreciate you as well. That is perfectly fine. And of course, as always, I have to say a huge thank you to Dan, V, Ted, Katie, and Jeremy, without whom this would have just been me talking to myself for 3 hours. So with that, we are going to get out of here. We're going to end the stream the same way we end every stream, and you can say it with me if you want.
Awesome.
Big ass critties.